On today's episode, we are going to be flipping a piece of furniture, the one that you see right here, in a really festive spring color that I haven't done in a really long time. I think you're going to really enjoy this, although, yellow can be controversial. I think at the end, you're going to say, I'm really glad you painted it yellow. Then we're going to do some Valentine's Day DIYs to help decorate my kitchen with. And then finally, I'm going to show you how I use thrifted items with new items to decorate my hutch for spring. Let's go! The first piece that my husband and I worked on together is this sofa table. We got it for free. The person who gave it to us was a real estate agent that saw these left over in somebody's home and knew that they were good quality pieces of furniture. It was this sofa table plus two side tables, although I'm only going to be doing the sofa table in this video. But she saw all these things that were going to be thrown out and she kept them and then gave them away to me when she found out that I like to flip furniture. So this was a totally free piece of furniture for us and it would have gone into the trash. So kind of a trash to treasure here in a way, but it was in rough shape. I'm really not sure how it got this beat up. I mean, that's pretty beat up considering it's not that old. But that's okay because a good sanding and some paint and adding character is going to make this piece really stand out and become unique instead of blending in as an outdated piece of furniture. My husband is using two different sanders here. He used an orbital sander first on the flat surface, and now he is using a sander that has a pad on it. This one is a brand called Surf Prep, and I will have them linked down below in the description box if you want to use my discount code and check that out. But the reason he uses the padded sander on here is because there's a lot of curves, and that's a really quick and easy way to sand all those curves and prep it for paint without causing any damage. Also, since it's padded, it gets down into the crevices a little better than a flat sander would. Since it's too cold to paint outside, we brought this inside and I'm painting it in my kitchen on the floor. I hope this is really relatable to everybody who's watching that is a DIYer in their home. Maybe not for a business, but just for a hobby or just because you have something you have to paint and you don't want to take it outside. Maybe your piece of furniture is too heavy and you can't take it outside all by yourself, so you paint it inside. I'm doing the same thing. Something that I always do when I can is I always flip my pieces upside down and paint them upside down first. This makes sure that I don't miss any spots. It also makes it to where once the feet are dry, now I can flip it right side up and I won't have to paint all the way down to the bottom of the feet and risk getting paint on my floor. A lot of people think I'm crazy for not always putting down a drop cloth, but this method makes it to where I don't really need one. Another thing to remember if you're somebody who tends to make a huge mess when they paint and they don't know why, do not flick your paintbrush as you're painting. So when you get to the edge of whatever you're painting, don't flick it because that is where all that paint splatter comes from. Slowly go around edges and go slow once you get to the end of your furniture surfaces. I don't know how else to say that. Here is me and Nino painting the top now. The paint that I'm actually using right here is Dixie Belle's Slick Stick. I put that on there as a primer because this is still kind of a slick surface. Even though we did sand it, technically I wouldn't really have needed to do this, but it's a pretty good primer and I like to use it. It makes the rest of the paint stick really, really well. Now it's time to pick out a paint color. I had this yellow paint for years now. I feel like I've had it for like 3 years. And then I still have this leftover paint from when I did my Christmas DIYs using up paint. And I decided that that yellow was way too orangey of a yellow. It's not really showing up very orangey on the camera, but in person it looks a lot like nacho cheese. And my husband is the one who pointed that out, and now I can't stop seeing it. But in person, it looks quite a bit like nacho cheese or like macaroni. And so I didn't like that. I wanted to lighten it up and make it more of a fun, happy spring color, like a yellow pastel. So I kept adding white and more white until I got to the color that I wanted. I think for you, for giving my advice for mixing yellow, I think you should start with white and add yellow to the white, because even I added a half a jar of white to that and it still was really similar to the original color. So I definitely would recommend starting out with white and tinting it with the yellow instead, so that way you don't waste a whole bunch of white paint for no reason. Now I have a whole bunch of yellow paint since I kept having to pour it back into the original one because I put too much white and I don't know, it was a mess. But I'm gonna have to paint something else yellow in the future now. I was hoping I'd get to use up all this yellow paint and get rid of this container with this project, but nope. Now I have to do a future project in yellow. So I'm actually considering doing a dining hutch in yellow and white to match this sofa table that I'm doing. So let me know in the comments section down below if you think a pastel yellow china hutch with a white background would be really cute. If that's something you think that you know you would buy or you know somebody would buy, because I will be selling it once I do that. But I'm going to be doing it on a vintage china hutch that I have that is desperately needing some paint and updating. And I mean, spring is coming, so I thought this is kind of a risk, but I don't know, I'm really interested in doing it. This is our foster dog. We have been calling her Cookie. My kids named her, but I just wanted to show her off here. My family members are interested in adopting her, but I'm not 100% sure if they're gonna be able to, because she is a little bit picky about which dogs she gets along with. But as you can see, she is an absolute angel, the sweetest dog ever. All she wants is to be petted, and she will give you her belly 24/7 if you let her. I think she's about 2 years old. I believe she's a Brittany Spaniel mix. I don't think she's a purebred, but she is very much so a Brittany Spaniel in personality and how she looks. And she goes from happy and playing to this super mellow, sleepy girl. Look at her. She's so sweet. She weighs about 35 pounds. She is already spayed, and she has been up to date on her shots. So if you are in the Houston area and you know of somebody who wants to spoil a dog or have a one dog household possibly, let me know just so I can have a backup in case my family members for some reason cannot end up adopting her. But anyway, back to the project. I'm doing the second coat of yellow now that it's right side up, and you can see that I tested out yellow on the top, but my husband came up with the idea of keeping the top white and doing the body in yellow, and I think that he's definitely right. And he always says it's because I'm a designer. He's saying it sarcastically, but he really does have great ideas sometimes. And I think that it's good to have somebody to bounce ideas off like that, because what I like, other people may not like. He tends to like things more modern, also more rustic than I do, because I don't know, he's a guy. But he helps me to see my work through somebody else's eyes. I also ask my children, my teenage children, what they think of my projects or my ideas too, because it helps me to kind of get ideas of what other people may like, because I may be going out on a limb on something that I'm the only person who will end up liking it. So, getting the opinions of your friends and your family before doing a project you intend to sell is a really good idea. They may tell you, I really don't think that's a good idea, and that may have saved you from having to repaint something later when it doesn't sell. So get those opinions. Next, I'm doing a flat clear coat. I'm using Dixie Belle's flat clear coat here, although you can use any clear coat that you want to as long as it's not oil based. Do not ever use oil based clear coat on something that is white unless you're going to be doing enamel clear coat. That's really the only one that I can tell you that won't yellow very quickly. But now, once everything's dry, I did 3 coats of clear coat. I decided I really wanted to distress it. So Nino is here, Piper's here. We're all here distressing this table in the middle of my kitchen, trying to stay warm on these freezing days we're having here in Texas. And I think distressing was definitely the way to go. It was looking a little bit too childlike without the distressing, and I think adding that character on there gave it the shabby chic charm that it was missing. I feel like this is something that would be a really cute store display for Easter stuff and spring decor. And right now, my booth is full of spring and lemon decor, which still is not selling yet, which I'm kind of worried about. Maybe I went the wrong way here with my spring decor. We'll see. I've had a lot of people say that they think it's going to sell really well, but we are going to find out. I started out sanding this with just my hand and a piece of sandpaper, but I ended up having to go get my sanding block because it was too rough on my hands. I did too good of a job getting the paint to stick, so I wasn't wanting to distress. But here it is in my booth, all done. I have it staged with things in like similar color schemes and styles, and I think that mixing any kind of checkerboard with yellow looks adorable and very spring and very Mackenzie Childs, I think. So I like to decorate with vintage checkerboards. And my booth is doing really well, actually. And just an update on the hutch that you guys saw in my other video where I flipped it. I did it in wood and it sold like that within a day or two. So it actually sold without me having to paint it, and I wanted to let you guys know that. But next, we're going to do some Valentine's Day DIYs for my kitchen. So these pieces I got from an auction, and it was full of a bunch of stuff. Like, I think it was part of my mystery haul auction, actually. But these seem to me to be bridesmaid bouquets. And then this teapot didn't have a lid, so I stuck a felt pad on the bottom, and I thought that'd make it slide easier on my counter. And then I have some thrifted foam that I'm going to cut up and put inside here to hold this bouquet. The bouquet is a little bit too long, so obviously I'm going to need to trim it before I put it in there. But this was a dirt cheap project using all the stuff that I already had on hand, and anybody can do this. So if you have something in your home, or you know what, if you go to yard sales and buy people's florals for dirt cheap, you can be doing this too with year-round stuff. Buy the stuff that's off season at the yard sales, store it in your attic or your garage or whatever, and then by the time the next season rolls around, you don't have to go to any stores to buy any new florals for whatever projects and crafts that you're going to do. And it saves you tons of money, and you're saving the planet by not buying a bunch of new stuff. Although if you want to buy new stuff, go buy new stuff. I'm not here to tell you what to do. But it fit in here really cute. I think it was perfect, and the arrangement looks gorgeous. Whoever made these bouquets really knew what they were doing, and it was built really well. The next project is this ceramic truck. It came in that same haul, and this home sign came from the Goodwill bins. So I'm right now I'm trying to DIY all the stuff I already have in my garage instead of thrift shopping, because I feel like at this point my garage is so packed full of stuff that I probably have more stuff in there than Goodwill has in their store. I really need to shop my own stash. And that's something cool that I think a lot of people can relate to, and why I wanted to show that in this video today, that you don't have to always go shop, because a lot of us already have gigantic piles of unfinished projects. So just because this said home doesn't mean I need to do year-round decor for it. I made it Valentine's Day, and it's also something really cute that could go with any style decor, and I only had to paint the face of it, so it took me like less than 5 minutes. And I painted this little truck as well in the same exact color, that way they all kind of go together. For Valentine's Day, I prefer to decorate with pink over red because Christmas is red, so I feel like by the time Christmas is over, I'm all redded out and I'm ready for some pink and some light pastel colors. Plus, I'm very fond of pastels in general, like light blue, light greens, pastel yellow, obviously, and then the pastel pinks as well. I think they just look really nice and happy and fresh. Spring is, I think, my favorite season of all, and it's my favorite time of year to buy decor, and you can use it all year long. It's just happy decor, in my opinion. But I had another one of those bouquets, so I cut off a few stems out of this that I thought would look really cute in the back of that truck. I'm just using regular wire cutters. And like I said, whoever made these bouquets was a professional. They put that thing together like Fort Knox, and it was really hard to get the flowers out. So there was no way I could have cut them out like super full length and used them somewhere else unless it was the whole piece together like I did with the teapot. The rest I had to cut really short, so it made for a perfect project for this truck. Now, you could have stopped here with just the white flowers with the pink, because I think that looks really good as well. But I decided to add a little bit more pink. One, because I'm never going to use pink flowers again anywhere else without it being Valentine's Day. And two, I thought that adding the pink on there would help it kind of match with the teapot that I did, since this is all going in my kitchen. I decided to do my Valentine's decor really only in my kitchen this year, and then do my favorite lemon decor in my formal dining room hutch, which that hutch is massive. If you have not seen any of my home tours or my dining room makeover or anything like that, I'm about to blow your mind with how big this hutch is. I bought this hutch from my high school and middle school friends' parents because they were getting rid of it, and I've always loved it. So it used to be black, and I painted it these colors. And then everything that you see in here, I would say like 90% of what I have in there is thrifted and secondhand. There's only a few pieces in there that I got from like Hobby Lobby and TJ Maxx, but most of it is either from a thrift store, an estate sale auction, or just secondhand in general. I love all of the vintage stuff that I have in there, and it creates a really good backdrop for any season and holiday that I decorate for. Here are some of the decorations that I'm going to be adding to it. Something I want to mention about decorating with lemons is that the lemon part shouldn't really be that much in number. So it stands out a lot. You don't need to buy a bunch of it. Like these I got from Goodwill for 79 cents a piece last year, and I'm just decorating with them again, put them away when the season's over and keep pulling them out every year. But 79 cents is dirt cheap. I'm so glad that I found those, and it's perfect for this decor. These sprigs came from Walmart, and I keep reusing them over and over again in different things that I do throughout my YouTube decorating and just decorating my house in general. This box was from Hobby Lobby, and it was only $7.99, and it was also 40% off. So the stuff I got from Hobby Lobby is really cheap, and I wanted to make sure that I got things that were extremely budget friendly. These I got thrifted for $1.99 a piece from Goodwill. This was my grandmother's that I've been waiting to decorate with. And then the next thing is this, which I got a pack of 6 at the at-home store. They came out to be like $3.33 a piece. Again, I'm trying to keep this super budget friendly for all of you to be able to recreate. This, I believe that I got from TJ Maxx, I want to say, for maybe around $9 or less. This I got for $12 secondhand at another booth that's actually in the same store that my booth is in. And then this right here was, I think it says $3.99, but it's 40% off. I went for the really small stuff because, like I said, the yellow stuff you want to kind of do less of and do more green with the lemon decor. But I also wanted to get the really cheap stuff. And this I want to show you. They had these wooden beads for $4.99 plus 40% off in multiple colors. So I would run, not walk, to Hobby Lobby and go pick those up in different colors to use for your crafts. Then I got this one right here, also super cheap. It's a little lemonade stand. I thought that it would look really cute in front of the little houses here, so it kind of looks like it's the front of one of those houses, which I thrifted those. And then I got these garlands. I can't remember how much they were. I think they were maybe like $9.99 and then 40% off, but I got 2 of them and taped them up. Here's how it looks all together. You can't tell that all of my dishware is old and used and cheap or free or from Goodwill or not. Using just a few new things and reusing things that you've already had is a great way to decorate when you're on a really tight budget. This year, we're on a really tight budget. My husband is now doing school full time. He's not working, and we are in the middle of trying to build this business here on YouTube, plus build a business as an antique dealer or a home decor dealer inside a boutique store. So we are pinching every penny that we can, and we're trying to make sure that we share all the ways that we pinch those pennies and save those dollars and still have a beautiful home. Having a beautiful home is something that's really important to me. I grew up redecorating and decorating with my grandma, and my dad loves decorating. Like, it just is in my veins. So to me, it's really important to create a beautiful, cozy space. And if you're somebody who loves to decorate, I hope that you'll enjoy my channel and consider hitting subscribe and comment down below and let me know what you think, first of all, about the projects I already did in this video, but do you think I can pull off a yellow and white hutch with like a little bit of distressing, just like how that sofa table was? I hope I can, because I really need to use up that paint. Like I said, we are pinching pennies right now, so I have to use what I have before I go out and buy more. I bet a lot of you watching can relate to this. But if you liked what you saw today, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I post videos every Wednesday and Sunday, and I will see you next time. Bye!